Hey friends, Mike here. Welcome to my vlog where I share my story and journey as a music composer to inspire creative people like you. Today I want to talk about a really important subject that can potentially ruin your dreams if you are not aware of them, and more importantly, if you don't do anything about it. And the other side of this coin is that being aware and taking strategic action on this subject can truly speed up the momentum on your professional journey in music. So what the heck am I talking about? Well, basically, knowing what your true strengths and weaknesses are as a music composer. And I'm not only talking about technical skills on how to create music. I mean everything that is involved to build a career as a music composer. I have personally thought about this a lot lately because I have found that my weaknesses are really holding me back and that I don't focus enough time on my strengths either. It's really simple actually. Just sit down and be honest to yourself. You know your strengths and weaknesses better than anyone. So the first step I took, and I recommend you to do as well, is to sit down and truly think deeply about this. Then write 2 separate lists. I made one list of my top 3 strengths and another list of my top 3 weaknesses. And the point here is that the things you write on this list should have major impact on your professional journey as a music composer. Alright, so here are my strengths top 3 list. 1. Creating strategies and plans. 2. Finishing what I start. And 3. Leaving things finished. And here are my weaknesses top 3 list. 1. Too much perfectionism. 2. Too much procrastination. And 3. Lack of focus. Now that is the first step I have taken. To think deeply and then write these 2 lists of my main strengths and weaknesses that all have a major impact on my professional journey in music. The next step is of course to find out what I should do about it, to control my weaknesses and to maximize my strengths. And for this I had to think longer and deeper to come up with a strategy to help me. 1. Creating strategies and plans. I have always been a strategist. I'm good at planning out things in detail and still keep the overall scope organized well. A downside of this can sometimes be that I spend too much time making plans, which reduces the time I have for executing them. However, I do feel that without a good sense of strategy, it's difficult to know what to focus on, what to work on every day. 2. Finishing what I start. I think this strength is unusual for most artists, because I've heard many composers that have hundreds of unfinished ideas or tracks saved on their computer. Well, I have found that I rarely leave things unfinished. In fact, if a problem comes up in my life, I feel a strong urge to solve it right now. So in fact, I have a problem putting things aside. But if I have started a task or a project, I usually finish it. 3. Leaving things finished. Now by this I mean that after I have finished a project, I simply move on to a new one. And I've heard many composers struggle with leaving projects and deciding that they are finished. So I guess it must be a strength to make that decision and keep the momentum and your eyes forward into the next project and not to look back in the mirror. 1. Too much perfectionism. Yes, I am a perfectionist. I often spend 30 minutes replying to a simple email that most people would write in 2 minutes. I can spend way too much time composing and producing a track, creating a music course, writing a blog post and so on to make them perfect. And since this is something I probably never will solve entirely, I try to make sure that I at least focus on projects and tasks that are important and will bring me forward on my journey. Too much procrastination. Sadly, this is also true. I procrastinate a lot. And if you don't know what this means, it basically means not taking action on the important things that matter for your journey. That's why I use techniques to try and help me avoid procrastination, like time blocking in my calendar, doing the most creative work during hours that I have the most mental and physical energy, and so on. Lack of focus. I have always been scatter-minded, if that is the correct word, meaning lack of focus, wanting to do so many things but struggling so hard on focusing on one task or project at a time. Also, when working on something, I have always had a hard time staying focused on the task at hand. That's why I use tools like website blockers and a Pomodoro app on my phone to help myself stay focused and avoid distractions. Now I recommend you to do this exercise yourself for your journey in music, because I already feel much better after writing these lists, and most importantly, after coming up with actions to take from being completely aware of my main strengths and weaknesses. Keep composing amazing music, and I will see you in the next video.